Hi guys, good day. This is Mike again from Shuttle Marine. Well, today I'm gonna be discussing a lot more about this certain brand of AVR, which is Stamford SX460. I have discussed this on my previous video, so if you haven't watched it yet, I suggest you go to that video first and then you proceed with this video. So you'll get a better picture what is the discussion all about. So if you require any technical consultancy, maintenance, or repair services, then you can contact us through Shuttle Tech Electromechanical Services. Or if you need technical trainings, in-depth, concise, and hands-on activities type of training, then you can contact us through Shuttle Marine Electromechanical Training Center. So let's take a look first at the adjustments again. So there we have this voltage trimmer, then we have the stability trimmer, and then we have the under frequency trimmer. So we can see the UF trimmer, the under frequency trimmer, is sealed. So on my next technical posting, I'll be discussing more about how to properly adjust stability, voltage, and probably under frequency as well. So for this certain AVR, there are only 3 adjustments available for the unit. So, but other AVRs like this one, it's a different brand of AVR. It has more adjustments compared to this Stamford SX460. This has around 5 trimmers on it, aside from the external remote adjustment. And this one, it's another brand. It has 1 adjustment and some dip switches, and at the back there are another 5 sets of adjustments on it. So various types of AVR, it really depends on how they design the AVR. There will be numerous adjustments on it. So I'll be discussing it one by one. Don't worry, we'll be discussing a lot of AVRs in my next postings. So let's see what are the designation of these terminals, right? So definitely we have an input, which is for this AVR, it's from 95 up to 264 volts input voltage. And then this third terminal, actually it's not connected at all to the system. So it's just a separator for our input and output. And some of the makers of this AVR, this terminal actually is not included anymore. Okay. So then we have the output terminal, which is the maximum voltage output is 90 volts DC. And then we have terminal for our remote VR voltage rheostat, or some companies call it voltage adjustment device, sorry. So this is the terminal. And then we have the link for either 220 or 110. Okay. And then we have the another link that it's utilized for the 50 and 60 hertz operation. So this is the manual. If you need the manual, it's easy to check it on Google. SX460, type Stamford SX460. You can download the PDF of this certain AVR. Alright. So let's move on. The technical specification of this AVR, it's 95 to 132 if we'll use it for 120 volts, and then 190 to 264 if we're gonna use this for a 220 volt system. So basically, whether we're using a 110 volt system or 220 volt system, we will use the same input. It only has 2 inputs, I mean 2 terminals for our inputs. So this is our 2 terminals that we'll be using either for a 110 or 220 input. The difference is, if we'll be using it for a 120 system, we need to install the jumper, this link. We need to connect these links, because this if we'll use 120, we need to connect this terminal link. So if I'll check out this AVR, see there's a link on it, this. So if I'll be using the AVR for a 110 system, I need to connect this link, right? So if I'll be using the AVR for a 220 system, then I have to remove the link. So I have to disconnect the link. Okay. Now I can use it on a 220 system. All right. So with link, 110. Without link, it's 220. All right. So then let's move on to the frequency link. So there are 3 terminals, one for 50 Hertz, one for common terminal, and then the last one is for 60 Hertz system. So if I'm gonna be using the AVR, this AVR for a 50 Hertz system, then I have to put that link on the first and the center terminal. So it will be for a 50 Hertz system. But if I'm gonna be using it on a 60 Hertz system, then I have to transfer that terminal into the 60 Hertz terminal. So the link now is between common and the 60 Hertz link terminal. So it really depends how will you gonna utilize the AVR, on which unit you're gonna be installing it. So you have options on how to connect these links together. All right, 50 Hertz, 60 Hertz. Then we'll move on to the output. So our output, our maximum voltage output is 90 volts. But actually, you won't reach 90 volts because 90 volts, it will reach up to 6 amps if your resistance value of the exciter field is exactly 15 ohms. Later on, we'll take a look at that thing. So most of the time, your alternator will only reach about what? 60-70%, and then 80 is maximum, and usually we only do it while we're testing the unit. Okay, so this is our output terminals. So let's see if we will apply our Ohm's law. Okay, so if these are input of 90 volts, and then our exciter field resistance value is 15 ohms, so we'll get 6 amps maximum for 10 seconds. Meaning if it goes beyond 10 seconds, then, or 6 amps for 10 seconds, then we will either be damaging our AVR or blowing up one of the components, because this type of AVRs doesn't have any fuse on it. So if I'm gonna be installing this AVR, it's wise to install a fuse or a breaker that will trip once it reaches a certain current. Otherwise, will damage our AVR, right? Because this certain AVR doesn't have any protection fuse on it. Okay, and the sad thing, most of the AVRs now, like these ones, we cannot repair it anymore because it's sealed by a hard plastic. It's like a chalk fast material, so it's useless to spend your time and effort in repairing these types of AVR. Usually, we're gonna throw it and replace it with the new ones. Okay, so that's our output, these 2 terminals. And then we have the remote VR, or voltage rheostat, or the voltage adjustment device. Okay, so it's the same thing. Different companies just have their own description on the remote voltage adjustments. Okay, so let's see. External voltage adjustment is 1K ohm and 1 watt. Its wattage is 1. So we cannot install a higher wattage on this one. I mean, if you will install a higher wattage on this one, you'll risk of damaging the AVR. So you have to be specific on the wattage, and including our resistance value, because maybe we can install a 5K resistance value, but the thing is the adjustments that I'll be doing, if ever I'll be adjusting it on my remote, a very minor movement on your potentiometer will give a huge variation in the voltage. So it's very complicated to get the exact reading or value that you needed when you have, if you will have a large value of this on this remote VR. So I'd suggest you really install a 1K ohm, 1 watt trimmer. And usually we install a single turn potentiometer on it. Okay, so let's take a look. So this is a 1 watt, 1K ohm potentiometer. So this is the minimum adjustment. And it goes to, if you turn it clockwise, that's the maximum adjustment of this potentiometer. So minimum, maximum. Okay. Mic test, mic test. Test, mic test. Well, to make it a bit more exciting, I've added a portion which I called mic test, test mic, where I will test your knowledge on the topic that we have discussed. Here's my question, guys. I have an AVR here which has an input voltage of 90 up to 264 volts. The output is 90 volts maximum. Exciter field resistance value should be above 15 ohms. So that's the technical specs of the AVR. The question is, can I install it on this certain alternator which has a voltage of 415, frequency of 50 Hz, excitation voltage of 75 volts DC max, and excitation current of 0.25 to 3 amps. So the question is it technically compatible or not? Again, guys, thanks for watching. Stay safe and God bless. If you haven't subscribed yet to this YouTube channel, kindly click subscribe and the notification bell so you'll get notified every time I have a new posting.